I've spoken about Hammer films before, and I'm a really big fan, as you can tell if you look back here. And they're mostly known for their horror films, but they've also made thrillers and swashbucklers and even some Robin Hood films, as you can see this box back here. But one of their films really stands out, and that's the topic for today's episode. This is the Kazdoy Closet. I'm Kazdoy. That's my closet full of all the stuff that I love. And today, a film that one writer in this book here, Hammer Films, an exhaustive filmography, said is, quote, absolute torture to sit through. But is it really? Let's check it out. Today's film is Creatures the World Forgot. Now, this is from 1971. It's 96 minutes long in color. But this is what the box looks like. This little thing comes off here. I usually take those off. But there's different artwork on the disc, and that's what I'm going to use in this video. Here's the artwork, because it looks more like the film poster, really. So this is about prehistoric man. And the plot basically is they hunt, they gather, they fight. There's a sibling rivalry between two brothers for control of the tribe and for control of certain ladies as well. There's no dialogue in the film except for some grunting and some yelling. And there's enough female nudity in the film to earn an X rating from the British Board of Film Censors. It was directed by Don Shaffey. He also directed the Hammer film 1 Million Years BC. I've never seen that thing, I don't think. But that was a huge hit for Hammer. So, of course, once you have a huge hit, what do? You make more of the same thing, right? And that one had some dinosaur effects. They also did another film, I think, called When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth. And both those films had dinosaur stop motion effects. But the problem with that is those stop motion effects take time and they take money. So for this film, they said, no dinosaurs. So even though the title says Creatures the World Forgot, there are no monsters or dinosaurs of any type in this film. So I assume the title's referring to prehistoric man and women, which actually, I kind of like that idea, actually. Don Shaffey also directed some great British TV series that I love, including The Prisoner and The Avengers. He did several episodes of those, and along with some American TV. And he also directed one of my favorite mythology films from childhood, and still to this day, Jason and the Argonauts. The star, quote unquote, of this film is Julie Edge. So they were looking for another sex symbol to kind of take the place of, well, not take the place of, but to compete with Raquel Welch in 1 Million Years BC. And so they came up with Julie Edge. She was Miss Norway at one point. She was a penthouse pet 1 month. But the thing is, she doesn't appear until the 1 hour mark. So she's only in the last half hour of the film. So she really doesn't make much of a presence at all. I should point out also the music, which was by Mario Nascimbiene. And the music is very important in this film because there's really no dialogue. So you're relying a lot on the music to tell you what's happening in the film and to build the excitement. And he does a very good job. It gets a little repetitive. He has like a handful of themes that repeat, but otherwise it's very effective. There are, of course, in a film like this, there's going to be some unintentionally funny moments. The big one being there's two brothers, and one's brunette and one's blonde. And the blonde-haired brother, as you can see here, looks rather silly. His hair is perfectly coiffed. His beard is nice and trim. So it's kind of silly. You'll kind of laugh when you first see it. Some other things that are unintentionally funny are some of the animal scenes. Animal attack scenes, really. They use a mix of real animals and fake animals, and the fake animals look really fake. They're pretty hilarious. But there are some surprisingly graphic moments in this film, and a good deal of blood, as usual in Hammer films. Kind of surprisingly, blood shows up. And then near the beginning, they're pulling apart this animal, which could possibly be a real animal. They're skinning it and eating it. And, you know, if you're a real animal lover, this might not be the scene for you. It's a good looking film, though. It was shot in the African desert, And so there's real caves here. There are real waterfalls. Very rough conditions they made this film, and it was physically demanding for these actors. The actors are all in really good shape, and they're climbing up the sides of cliffs barefoot. So it must have been very physically demanding for them. I expected a lot of fake caves and to look really like paper mache trees and stuff. It's not like that at all. So that was I was surprised, pleasantly surprised at that. And apparently the writer did do a good deal of research. So they even used real prehistoric artifacts in some of these scenes in this film as well. So my rating for Creatures the World Forgot, a surprising 3.5 bones out of 5. Why bones? Well, because they're eating animals and they're tossing the bones around and stuff. So I had really low expectations going into this. And like I said, I was surprised how good it looked. And I'm going to show you some pictures in a minute. But, you know, you have to take it for what it is. It is about prehistoric man. It's you know, funny in some moments, and you're not going to get a real heavy plot. But I was in the mood for something simple. And this really fit the bill for that. That's true. And as you're watching it, also you're watching them behave. You think, this is where we came from. These are our ancestors. That is pretty wild to think about. Is it one of Hammer's worst films, as that book said, or a torture to sit through? It wasn't torture for me. Whether it's one of Hammer's worst films, I haven't seen all these behind me yet, so I can't judge that. So what's on this disc? This is an indicator disc. It's Region B. It does come with a booklet, which is always, they have very good booklets, indicator, and it's 80 pages long. This is the book that I showed you before. There's the director. It's perfect bound, and it has all kinds of great information about the director, about the star, about the writer, the background of the film. You know, excellent, full colors, you can see. Really well done booklet. And it also comes with some art cards. Now, the cards that came inside the box, I got this at the recent indicator sale. It was like 20 bucks or so, well worth it. 15 or 20 bucks. And there's like 6 cards that are black and white that came in the box. And this is Julie Edge. This is the only picture I can show you because she's topless in the rest of these. But the ones I can't show you came separate. So they threw a bunch of other ones in. You can get an idea of what the film looks like from these postcards here. They meet this other tribe. They wear these giant like helmets almost. That's pretty cool. A lot of tribal stuff going on, and superstition and rituals, which is interesting, at least to me. So that's what comes with the disc. And then what else do you get? There is an audio commentary, which I did not listen to. There are several features, including, they range in length from, I'd say, 6 minutes to about 25 minutes. There's one on Julie Edge. There's one on the film and its place within the Hammer filmography. There is one on the composer. And then there are 3 short films by the director. He made these for something called the Children's Film Foundation. He made a lot of fantasy and adventure films, mainly aimed toward kids. I'll be honest, I barely glanced at those because I wasn't that interested. And they're black and white and in pretty bad shape, actually. So where can you see Creatures the World Forgot? I don't know. You can maybe try your local library. I don't see it streaming anywhere right now. So feel free to leave a comment or suggestion down here below. I would like to thank the following people who left comments since our last episode: Martin, Sam, Tina, and Michael. Thank you so much for taking the time to leave some interesting, thoughtful comments, and I appreciate the positive feedback. Leave a thumbs up. Don't leave a thumbs down. Subscribe would be great. Share this with your friends and neighbors. I would like to thank our 2 new subscribers since our last episode, Tom and Usual 9000. Hope I'm saying that right. We're about 20 away from our next goal of 475 subscribers, so please join us here. We're also on Letterboxd. You can join us there under the Kazdoy Closet. There's a link down there, and that is where we post short reviews, written reviews of other things that we're watching. I just posted a review of John Wick 4 for your pleasure. So hope you like this episode. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.